What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are starting off with X-Men 97. This is an issue number 1, but also a prelude to everything ongoing in the animated show. This comic is really going to be showing us everything that built up to exactly where we are in the current animated series. We get to see how Sinister began his plan, with this comic taking place prior to Jean becoming pregnant. The inner conflicts that we have with the X-Men after the death of Professor X. Bishop just recently joining the team, and then Cyclops really trying to figure out how he's going to lead the X-Men moving forward. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we're picking up with Magneto in Times Square. He says the time has come for a new mutant kingdom, one that will be built on the ashes of this obsolete world, using his powers to levitate cars into the air. It doesn't take long for the X-Men to show up. In the typical fashion of Wolverine, we see him jump in immediately, as if he hasn't learned that he can't do anything to Magneto. He definitely can't do that when he jumps out of formation. With Wolverine doing this, Storm has to save him. This leaves everybody else on the team vulnerable. The plan has gone sideways. With the entire team just being thrown around, we see the simulation end. This was all the danger room, with Cyclops leading the team trying to figure out his footing now that Professor X is gone. We see that Wolverine and him are bumping heads. Storm breaking up this before it goes too far, and Beast chiming in just at the right time to let them know that they got a situation with Dazzler. She has been kidnapped by the Friends of Humanity. This seems to be a ploy to disrupt the evening's Charles Xavier Memorial Concert that Dazzler was going to be doing, and Beast has a trail on where they might have gone. And so with this, the X-Men go to jump into action, but before they do, Jean says that she's gonna stay behind. All day she's had an upset stomach, and nobody but Storm notices that this is a little bit more than an upset stomach. But as we pick up with the X-Men team arriving on scene, with Jean out of the picture, Beast called in some backup, called in some heavy hitters to help out with a little bit of dealing with the Friends of Humanity. So when the X-Men team show up, Rogue and Gambit are already on site. With the wall being broken down, the X-Men, they charge in. They start knocking some heads. One by one, the guards begin to fall, and Jubilee is able to make it to Dazzler. And as they free her and have a little bit of conversation, somebody else enters the room. Valerie Cooper, the liaison on mutant affairs. At first, the X-Men think that she's here to arrest them, but Dr. Cooper is actually here because of the president. He wants to take a new approach after what happened to Charles Xavier, a more sympathetic stance. As these agents begin to arrest all the Friends of Humanity, we see that one of her agents, Agent Denty, he's letting these Friends of Humanity know that if they keep their mouths shut, they play ball, he'll have them out in no time. And Wolverine smells something on him, something familiar, but he's not able to pinpoint exactly what that is. With the X-Men taking off and arriving back home, Jean is there to greet Cyclops. She wants to tell him something that she has just found out herself. But he is so preoccupied with the debriefing, with work, with running the X-Men, with doing what they do, he kinda brushes it off. But what she holds in her hand is a positive pregnancy test. This is the day that Jean Grey found out she was pregnant. Taking us over to Beast and Bishop. Beast is trying to fix the device that allows Bishop to time travel, unsuccessfully trying to fix it. This is advanced technology that not even he can fully comprehend just of yet. This is gonna be a lot of trial and error, not something that's gonna happen overnight, which means Bishop is stuck here at least for the moment, with Jubilee dragging Bishop to the concert of Dazzler. Storm was gonna go out, but she saw that there was something up with Jean. That's what takes us to the rooftop. The two of them have really grown to be like sisters, and conveying to Storm that she's just having trouble right now. Almost like her relationship is becoming an afterthought to the mission, to everything going on with the X-Men. Just a moment of comfort for Jean. Somebody to talk to, somebody that might at least be able to help her work through this situation. Of course, Storm's advice is to just talk to him, to take the moment and let him know what is going on. In the danger room, we see Cyclops and Wolverine are still not getting along. Wolverine is challenging his authority at every single turn. It gets to the point where Cyclops and him are going toe-to-toe. While they sort all this out, Beast is currently talking to Moira, specifically talking about Bishop's little device that allows him to travel. He is asking her advice on how to be able to crack it. This is what takes us over to the concerts. As everything's getting underway, we see that Jubilee, Bishop, Rogue, Gambit, they're all here. But before things can truly kick off, we have the arrival of the Nasty Boys. They knock Dazzler right off of the stage, Rogue catching her just in time, and then the crowd begins to panic. While Jubilee and Bishop try to calm people down, Gambit's not wasting a single second, he's going after the guys. It doesn't take long for them to be taken down by Rogue, Gambit, and Dazzler. These guys hightail it out of here very quickly, and while they could go after them, Dazzler says, nah, let's get the show on the road. Let's get this going. While the concert begins to get underway yet again, we pick up at the mansion, Jean and Cyclops. Now Jean, she's really trying to let him know what's going on, trying to get his undivided attention, stopping him and looking at him in his visor, letting him know that she took a test and she is pregnant. On the outside, we can see that Wolverine was eavesdropping and he's looking like a sad puppy dog. Elsewhere, we have the Nasty Boys that are showing up to their master. That master is none other than Sinister himself. He punishes the Nasty Boys for failing him. But what Sinister does know is that Jean Grey is with child. He knows that her child is going to be the genetic key that he has been searching for years. But to get his hands on this child, he must undermine what the X-Men have built with the public. To do this, he is going to enlist the help of some mutants. First on the list is Sabretooth. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely a fun issue, really building up to everything we see currently going on with the X-Men 97 series. We see that Sinister is already plotting against Jean Grey. Jean is just now finding out that she's pregnant. So it's going to be interesting to learn how Sinister found out this information so quickly. Now, if you're a longtime X-Men fan, you already know how this story plays out. This is a story that we all know. But of course, Marvel's going to take the opportunity to put out a comic that is going to connect to all of this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, I don't mind the mansion days, they're a lot of fun, but the story, the way they're written, I guess it's so repetitive and it's so predictable. Like, you know Wolverine is gonna jump in and try to take down Magneto. We all know that's not gonna work, and it's like, when does he learn? Where's the character growth in that? I think that's why the Krakoan era became so popular. Even, you know, if some fans think that it faded off after Jonathan Hickman was no longer really attached and they kind of moved away from his story or what he wanted the story to eventually be, what we theorize it would be if Jonathan Hickman had stayed on and what it could have looked like. I definitely just don't feel like Marvel's gonna jump and be like, this is where we're at. We're back in the mansion, we're doing this stuff again, just like in the animated show. That's all the comics are gonna be. I just don't see it. Like I said before, I love the Krakoan era. I understand that it's coming to an end. I think it is a good thing. It really ties up all of these stories that have been building up for so long. But I'm hoping that there's an Arakko era on the other side of this ending. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with the X-Men, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you caught up up on everything currently going on with the X-Men titles. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.